Okay, so we are about to talk about domain names. So, you have, what does .edu stand for? Education, how about .gov? Government, how about .com? Com has to stand for something. It don't just mean com, so take a wild guess. Commerce, it stands for commerce. Why is it commerce? Because it usually .com are dealing with things where you can buy and sell and trade and do all that sorts of stuff. Although you have a lot of information, okay? But that's one of the reasons why it's .com for commerce. How about .net? Network. How about .org? Organization. How about .us? How about .uk? All right, y'all, you know, it's a smart group up in here. So, now, of these domain names, which do you think are credible? What do I mean by credible? No. Credible meaning, how about if you think in terms of law? Is that you know how you see on Law and Order, and they be like, is that a credible witness? Can you trust them? Oh, you know, so, that what? Why? .gov because it deals with the government. Okay, but 99.9% of the time, you can trust the government, right? Yeah, you can. Okay? So, anything that ends with .gov, for the most part, you can trust it. It's going to be a credible site. How about .edu? So, is it a credible site? How many people says yes, raise your hand? How many people says no, raise your hand? Okay, so the yes people are correct. Why? Because it's an educational site. That means you are going to learn from it. So why would the people who make up the education tell you something that's fake and you have to learn? You get what I'm saying? So any educational sites are credible. All right? Now, how about .com? How many people say yes? Raise your hand. How many people say no? Raise your hand. All right, so that is a 50-50. It's kind of both. It all depends on maybe if it has a copyright signal, copyright symbol, and, you know, who created the site, okay? Because sometimes you just have to read, and you might have to go to more than one site. Now, if all these sites are saying the same information, then yes, it's pretty much a credible site, okay? Now, how about .net? That's the same thing. It's another 50-50, yes and no. You just have to read the material, and you know how y'all check your answers in math? Okay, that's how you got to check other websites to make sure they're saying the same thing, okay? To make sure that it is credible. How about .org? Same thing as the .com and the .net. You just have to check. You have to check by going to many websites. Now, what is a search engine? Exactly. Google, Yahoo, Bing, those are search engines. Now, if I was to, let's go here to www. Let's go to Google, google.com. All right, Google search. So what is the search engine box? This big old box right here, this big old box right here that you could type what in? Whatever information that you're looking up, that's what you can type in it. Now, what is the difference between the search engine box and the address bar? The address bar takes you directly to the web address, to the website. And if you were to put the web address in the search engine box, what would you get? It'll bring up all those types of web pages that deals with whatever you typed in. Okay? So that is the difference between the two. Now when I tell you to type in the web address, usually where do you think I'm talking about? Where should you type it? In the address bar, because some of you guys, you type in www.zoho.com in the search engine box instead of the web address. So now we know the difference between the two. All right, now looking at your worksheets, everybody has one? Go back and get it. The worksheet that I am referring to, you can find at your Zoho account. I have shared it with all of you, and you'll just see the questions that you will have to answer. All right, so looking at number 1 on the worksheet. First, we should all read what? The directions. All right, so let's start. Innovators in Computing Hunt. This hunt acquaints you with the pioneers of computing. When you are done, you'll realize that calling someone a geek or a nerd is actually the highest form of flattery. Y'all want to know why? Why? Because those geeks and those nerds that y'all made fun of, they came and made buku dollars. I mean, all these geeks and nerds that you will see in this worksheet have probably made over $1 billion. So if y'all made that much money, would y'all care if somebody called you a geek or a nerd? No. So why do y'all be smacking y'all lips when somebody get the right answer? That's what y'all be doing. So it doesn't matter. As long as you're studying, then you are all right in my book, and you should be all right in your book, and do not care what anyone else tells you. Next, directions. Use the hypertext links to go to the website that has the answer. Use the Go menu to return to the Hunt webpage. Now, since you guys have the actual paper in your hands, you will not be able to click on the hyperlinks. And what are the hyperlinks? The links, the things that are in blue. Alright, those are the hyperlinks. Those are the hyperlinks. But you will not be able to click on those. So that is why we are going to research each answer. Okay, we're not just going to click on something and it takes you right to the answer. I want you guys to start getting in the habit of researching. So the first one says, number 1, Bell invented the phone. Edison invented the light bulb. The Altair was the first personal computer. Who developed it? So what are we looking for? If we were to write something in the search engine box, what are we going to write? Who invented the computer? Who invented the light bulb? What'd you say, Devin? Who? What? Instead of develop, what should we say? Invented. So who invented the Altair? Now, why should we not put in our search box who invented the first personal computer? Let's look back at the question. Bell invented the phone. Edison invented the light bulb. The Altair was the first personal computer. Who developed it? Now, why should we say the first personal computer instead of Altair? The Altair was the first personal computer, so why should we say first personal computer when we know the name of the first personal computer? You see what I'm saying? So you guys have to start actually reading the questions and be specific. Exactly.